Today I'm going to make a pannier rack for my motorcycle so that I can go get groceries. I've always intended to make panniers for the CB500 here. Even when I redid the rear subframe here, I added in this extra little connecting point on the back here, so now I've got two, so I can hook up little panniers there. I've got a bunch of material, so we're going to use some 1/2-inch tube and we're going to try and make something to go on this bike. And this is what I want to use as a pannier. It's a Milwaukee Packout. It's a pretty cool system they've got. This thing locks via these little things on the bottom. It locks down on the bottom to something, and then you can also lock additional boxes on top. So it's a pretty cool system. I like, it's well thought out for sure. And so this is really some pretty heavy duty plastic on there, so it's well designed as well. So that's why I chose it. To lock it onto the bike, I've also designed something on the computer. Alright, so I made this guy on the computer, designed all this stuff, and then cut it out on the CNC plasma table. And then this is what will hold the box onto the bike. And our challenge today is to make a frame for this, make a way for this to attach to the motorcycle. Yeah! Alright, so I bent up two of these guys. This one I tried to be professional and bend up both ends on the same piece of tubing. And this one I got pretty close. Got pretty close with this guy, and then did the same thing here, and it was too long. So now I've cut it, I gotta shorten it, and then I'll join them back together. Alright, so here we are. I ended up cutting all four of these. So I have four separate little pieces here, but now I've got them all joined up exactly the way I want them, laying flat on this piece here. So I'll go ahead, we'll have four joints to weld up. Alright, I've got my hoop tacked together, so now it's all one piece here, nice and neat. Now I'm going to go ahead and weld all this stuff up, and we're going to tack it onto this guy, and so all be one piece. Alright, we're all welded up. It's looking pretty good. Go ahead and stick this other plate on here. Get this thing prepped, and then we'll tack weld it on here in a few places, a few key spots. Alright, so I've made a mistake. You can see on this guy where I've got just the flat piece here, but it fits inside here quite nicely. See that? There's these little lips. Also take note. These little lips right here. Go ahead and take this piece off. Alright. Go and put this piece that I've now got support tubing on. That on here, and this one I go to slide it on, and look right there, this tubing runs into my little lip, and it's because I forgot how I designed this thing. This tubing is supposed to go down and fit neatly underneath the sheet part here and run exactly in that little space right there. So that means I need to deconstruct this thing, shorten up all the little tubing, and basically redo a lot of the work I did yesterday, and then weld it back on here. Alright, now I'm doing stuff the way I should have done it in the first place, which is I've got this guy lightly tacked in here, and now I'm going to try it on here before I fully weld anything up. Let's see if this works as designed. That is much better, because now you can see how this fits in here. Everything fits in the way it's supposed to. Because otherwise I was like, oh, I have to trim the actual box. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and fully weld this thing up. And look at this thing that I made. I bent this thing it's all bent on one piece. All one piece, no welding. Look at that. Getting better with that bender, man. Pretty stoked about that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tack my little support brace onto my base rack here. I'm sort of making this thing up as I go. All right, now with my extra little brace thing on the side installed or tacked on, I'm test fitting it onto my box here before I fully weld anything up. All right, so far I've got this bar, this tube, and this tube welded up pretty fully. This one's fully welded, this one's half welded. And getting to a point here where things are starting to come together. This is really sketchy getting this stuff here because I have to count for 3 dimensions, how it turns this way, and like this way. And I'm kind of doing my best here, but I have no real way to lock any dimension down, so I'm a large degree just guessing here. But now with this welded up, I can start locking things down and it will get easier from here. According to that is level, but it doesn't look level. All right, so we've gotten this far, and now that we've got this far, it should get easier. Because all the things, this is aligned now at this point in terms of all 3 dimensions. That was the hard part, and now I just need to add another brace on from here over to over there. All right, so this side is pretty much done. Let's bolt this thing on here and see what we think. It is fairly strong, actually. So there's a little bit of play sort of in this plane here. Will it be strong enough? Once I get this brace, there'll be another brace that goes on the back side here to the other pannier on the other side. And that should strengthen it up quite a bit, and hopefully that's enough. All right, it's looking good so far with my sweeping curves there. All right, through the magic of television, we've now got a second one for the other side. All right, so here they are, both on there. I'm hoping they're close to even. I tried to mirror them as best I could. All right, there's one on that side, there's one on this side. I do feel like they might be a little bit further off the bike than is standard. I don't really know. I've never even owned a pair of panniers before. I just literally built these based upon pictures I saw on the internet. Now that I've got these 2 made, each side made, I need to have a connection from one side to the other side going behind the tire here. I just happen to have a piece of scrap here that is bent already, and that may work. So yeah, this gotta go in between, something like that. And then hopefully we've got a big enough gap here for the tire. These things do flex a little bit, but by connecting these two in the back, I'm hoping that it transfers some of if there's a force here, it will transfer this to that and sort of push against this guy and sort of help stabilize the whole thing. All right, I've got both of them up on my table along with the little piece that connects them there, so they all should be nice and flat. I've arranged these. I've used the little pegs there, little bolts to align stuff on my table. So hopefully this one should be parallel with this one here, and then everything should be flat on this plane. And I'm just going to tack that in there, try it on the bike, see where we're at. All right, I've got it tacked up. Try it on the bike here. Alright, so I've got it welded up. It is a bit of a monstrosity I've created here. It's a big piece for sure. I'm going to get it on the bike, and then we'll test fit our pannier things on there, our little toolboxes. See how this goes. Alright, they are mounted on there. I got everything tightened down now, and now when I go to test it, it does seem to be much more stable. I mean, it flexes a little bit, but not much. Would I sit on this? No, I wouldn't. Let's take a look at it real quick. All right, so I've gone ahead, I've welded everything together. The ones you buy are typically not all welded in one giant piece like this thing, so that you can ship them and all that sort of stuff. So I've got this bar welded right to that one. I've got this little hoop, got this little hoop. I used some tubing and a washer to make these little mounting points here. So to support our rack here, I've got 4 mounting points. I've got 2 there. I've got 1 forward here off of the passenger foot peg. We've got a mount there that comes up to our rack right there. And then our 4th point is the back side that attaches it basically just to the other rack, but that does give it some extra strength and stability. So those are our 4 mounting points. I copied that off of other pannier systems I saw on the internet. The main difference on mine is this little slotted rack system thing over here that is designed and made for the Milwaukee Packout system to lock into. And then I've got this other little upper brace thing here that is mainly there for this extra brace coming off of there to help support this surface here, because a normal pannier system would just have this side piece here like this. You would not have this piece out here at all, or this extra brace. It would just be the side piece, which would look, when the panniers aren't on here, would look much neater for sure. So it came out pretty much as I wanted it to. I'm just not sure at this point how functional it will actually be. All right, so let's try our hard cases, i.e. our toolboxes on here. These on the bottom, they have all these little square pieces here that slot in, and there's a little locking mechanism right here. This has been designed to work with this, so this should go on here like that, and I should be able to slide it back and lock it on there like so, and that's locked on. All right, those are both locked on. Looks all right. Looks all right. Yeah, how much weight can these support is my question. Yeah, I can move the whole bike with this. It'll probably be all right. We'll have to test it out and find out, right? There it is. So yeah, it took me like a couple weeks to put this together, but those are working some pretty short days, probably 20 hours total to make this pannier system, which is probably more than most people would take. Professional for sure would do it quicker, but I'm a newbie, I'm a novice, and I'm just playing around here, so this is what I got. Lots of fun though. I did do, this is the first time I've done this little trick here. I thought that was fun, so I always try and do something a little bit different, and that was my first time doing that. And then of course the little cutout thing there, CAD designing that took a while, extra time beyond that. So yeah, this is fun, and this is also the first time I tried to do multiple bends on one tube, which I got 3 bends in that guy there. And I'm very happy how that turned out. Got the hang of that a little bit better. Now that I've got these panniers finished, there's some cool stuff I can do with them to improve the quality of my life. Because these panniers are super convenient to go camping with, to go to the grocery store, and thinking of both of those things, they also make another box that is the exact same size that is also a cooler. So it's insulated so I can put things like food, frozen food, and things like that in there, and that is great for going to the grocery store and for camping. What was most important for me and what my goal was on this was now I can go to class with these things. I can load my welding equipment into these toolboxes, go to class on my motorcycle, which would be super fun, and with gas prices really high, really efficient. There's my money, people. And then once I get to class, I can take these boxes off really quick and easy and just carry them right into class. And then one thing I'm thinking about doing that's in my head here, haven't done it yet, look in the video description, because if I do it, I'll add it there, is to make a little rolly wheel thing that I can take the boxes off, stack the boxes together, and then put a little rolly wheel thing, clip it onto the bottom, and then roll my boxes into class that way, because that might make my life even more convenient and even easier. So that is my video, and I hope this is inspiring to somebody. If it is, give me the thumbs up on this video thing. Blah, 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 blah. Keep on wrenching on your own projects, and we'll see you next time.